Now, he was one of Brazil's most popular leaders and the front-runner in next year's presidential elections. But yesterday, Lula da Silva was sentenced to more than 9 years in jail on corruption charges. A judge says the former president accepted bribes from a construction firm linked to the refurbishment of a beachfront apartment he was planning to buy with his late wife. Mr. Lula can appeal and has scheduled a much-anticipated press conference that's going to happen in just a few hours' time. So let's talk to one of his defense team, the lawyer Valeska Teixeira Martins, who joins us now from Sao Paulo. Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. Why do you believe this verdict was politically motivated?
Because we have proven, we have overwhelming evidence of his innocence since the start. Actually, this whole process should not have started. When the accusation filed and presented with a PowerPoint their reasons for accusing Lula, they even go to say they have no evidence. When they file the final allegations, they say they have no evidence. But we have evidence. We have overwhelming evidence of his innocence. This apartment, which is the object of the conviction, could not have been Lula's, was never Lula's. He took a look at the apartment to understand whether he and his family would be willing to purchase the apartment, but didn't take an interest in the apartment. I do not believe this is consistent with a crime.
So do you believe that the judge in the case, Judge Moro, was not impartial?
Definitely not. And this is something that we have proven over and over. We have taken the matter to the Human Rights Committee of the United Nations. We have asked that Judge Moro cannot judge Lula because he, since the start, has shown a biased nature. And this is also a problem. I lost her. This is also a problem of legislation. We have a judge who collects the evidence, and then after he accepts the charges, he then becomes the sole judge of the trial, judging the merits of the trial.
So if you have such a strong lack of faith then in him and the judiciary, do you trust now in the Court of Appeal?
We do not have a lack of trust in the judiciary. We have a lack of trust in the impartiality of Judge Moro and certain members of the task force, of the car wash task force. We are absolutely sure that once an unbiased and impartial judge looks and analyzes the evidence, Lula will be found innocent.
There are many that would say there are 200 pages in this verdict. It can't all be circumstantial. That President Lula has colleagues, people he knows, who have been charged with corruption, that he has to be above all of this, that he surely must have known that something was happening and should have walked away.
Out of 960 paragraphs, Judge Moro only mentions in 5 of them the proof of innocence, that we have overwhelming proof of evidence that we have produced in the files. He goes on to talk about defending himself from violations of human rights. He goes on transcribing depositions, and there's no evidence. He can say 1,000 times, that there's evidence, and it will not be true. If you read the 200 pages, there's absolutely nothing there. And Lula will prove that in an impartial court of law.
Valeska Teixeira Martins, thank you very much for joining us from Sao Paulo, one of former President Lula's